So I'll just tell you guys right now that yes, I would shoot this person. Now you might not agree with me, so if you don't and you want to find out why I'm saying what I'm saying, go ahead and just skip to the end of the video. For those of you who want to learn more, let's go ahead and watch this video and then I will explain it in more detail.
Don't even move. Don't even move. I'll see you. Don't move. Don't even move. Don't move. Don't move. No cap. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. So on you. Lay down. Lay your arms out. Lay your arms out. Lay your arms out. Move your arms out. Move them out. Is anybody else in the house?
All right, so first things first, when we talk about a home invasion, which is what this is, a forceful, violent entry while there's residents still present in the home, at least in the state of Illinois, that's what I'm always talking about, so keep that in mind as well, guys. In a home invasion or a burglary, there are 6 phases. You have the approach where they begin to move towards your home. You have the stack where they actually stack up against your house. You have the breach where they remove the barrier to entry. You have the entry where they now enter the threshold. You have the exploitation, and then you have the escape. You see that here very plainly displayed. In order to buy yourself time to protect your home, we have what's called the 4 pillars of home defense. You have deterrence, which they clearly were not deterred. You have delay or detection. I don't know if they were detected or not, home security systems, etc. And then delay. The best way to keep somebody from kicking your door off of the frame is to replace the screws in the striker plate from the 1/4-inch US building code requirements. They're 1/4-inch screws to 3-inch screws. They will not be kicking this door off the frame anytime soon. And by the time they do, if they do, they will be so exhausted that they're just going to want you to shoot them or get them a glass of water. And then the last one is ultimately defend. And defense is very easy to do for home defense because you have something called the fatal funnel, the choke point at the front door where they're making that entry. And we could talk about that like I do in many other videos. So let's talk about why I think that you could shoot these criminals before they actually remove that barrier to entry while they're in the stack phase of this home invasion. Now, it's not very common that you get to actually engage criminals when they are in the stack phase. Usually in the state of Illinois, you're going to want to wait until they remove that barrier to entry and then cross the threshold. That's the entry phase. So phase 4 of that home invasion and robbery. Why do I think that we could engage them during the stack phase here is because of this. What is in his waistband right there? A gun. Guns shoot bullets. Bullets travel through things. Your door, your walls, they are not cover unless you got brick walls or steel or concrete walls. This home, this door, hell no. I'm going to immediately, upon seeing a firearm, even if it's in his waistband, if you're trying to make entry into my home and I see that you have a gun on you, I'm going to shoot you. If I see that you are outside stealing my catalytic converter, I can't shoot you. I don't want to anyways. I just call the cops. But when your partner has a gun pointed at my home, I'm going to shoot him. And this is why certain types of weapons are good for home defense situations, because something like this where I want to make sure that I'm getting great over penetration. Now, a shotgun with a slug will probably still go through the door and stop this threat. A AR-15, 5.56, 223, definitely going to penetrate the door, probably go a little bit past them. With that type of backstop being the tree, you also have the neighbor's house over there to be aware of, and the second guy. I'm probably going to engage both of these dudes because I think it's pretty reasonable to believe that if one has a gun and they're trying to make a forceful entry into my house, then I am going to need to shoot both of them in order to stop them because they're both probably armed. So that's my take on this. If you confirm somebody has a gun and they are trying to illegally enter your home, what is to stop them from just pulling that gun out and start shooting at you? In Illinois, we have to ask ourselves, is it reasonable to believe that you are using force which is intended or likely to cause death or great bodily harm, only if you reasonably believe that such force is necessary in order to prevent imminent death, great bodily harm? I'll pull it up here in a second and I'll actually post on the screen so you guys can see exactly what the Illinois Code of Statute says. So as I just said, a person is justified in the use of force against another when to the extent he reasonably believes that such conduct is necessary to defend himself or another against such other's imminent use of unlawful force. However, he is justified in the use of force which is intended or likely to cause death or great bodily harm only if he reasonably believes that such force is necessary to prevent imminent death or great bodily harm to himself or another or the commission of a forcible felony. Robbery is a forcible felony, and it's the taking of one's property by the use of or the threat of the use of force of violence against an individual. Now, when we look here at Castle Doctrine, you are justified in the use of force which is intended or likely to cause death or great bodily harm only if the entry is made or attempted in a violent, riotous, or tumultuous manner, and he reasonably believes that such force is necessary to prevent an assault upon or offer of personal violence to him or another then in the dwelling. That first subsection there, both of those, the violent entry and you reasonably believe that, I think it's pretty damn reasonable to believe that there's an offer of personal violence when you're trying to kick in my door, make unlawful entry, while carrying a gun with you. That's just me. So let me know your thoughts. If you want, you could wait till they kick the door off the hinges. That removes that barrier. Wait till they cross another threshold. You do you. I just don't recommend that you use handguns for home defense in the state of Illinois, since we can't have shoulder-fired rifles or rifles, semi-automatic. Then I encourage you to use a shotgun. Plain and simple. Buckshot number 4 is what I like to use, unless you are comfortable shooting a singular slug, or if you have a rifled shotgun with a singular slug. Just be careful. Know your target. Consider the foreground and background. You always have to know that backstop. Let me know your guys' thoughts. I'm very interested to always have these conversations with my fellow instructors, fellow carriers, and ordinary, everyday people. Take care, guys.